So now we're going to draw the pattern for the trousers. You will need 2 pairs of pyjama bottoms, a ruler, a pair of scissors, a pen and a measuring tape. Right, the first thing is when you have the fabric laid out, you're using double fabric. Okay? Next thing is, when you fold the legs of the pyjamas, you need to fold them, one that is folded to the front. Now you'll know it's going to the front because the front drops down a little bit and the label's at the back. And the other pair you fold to the back, so it sits a little higher and going out to the back. Lay them down side by side like this. And now we're just going to draw around them. So at the bottom, I'm going to slide this up just a little bit, give us a little more room. At the bottom, take a ruler. If you haven't got a ruler, use a measuring tape just to give you a straight edge to work with going along. And remember that we're making these for people we don't know what height they are. So be generous in the length because they can always roll the bottom up. If they're made too short, then they will be too short. So add a good generous bit of length to the pyjamas. Now, as you can see in the 2 pairs of pyjamas that I'm using, one's a wee bit longer than the other. That doesn't matter because you're drawing this line straight across. Just take your measurement from whichever leg is the longest in the pyjamas. Move along then to the other end. And we're going to draw a line across here. Extend the line out wider than the width of the top of the pyjamas because there's elastic in the waist. And that's pulling the pyjamas in. Okay, so now we're going to draw the crotch line. So this is the crotch line in trousers here, front crotch line, and then that will be the back crotch line. So, front crotch line. Draw in, just give yourself a wee bit of space away to allow for the seam and follow the curve round. Until it starts to straighten out a wee bit. Now, this is where you just need to line the ruler up and just draw a straight line. Don't follow in because the elastic pulls the waist in. You can curve that line just a little bit more there so that it's not just so right angled there. And bring this line out just a little to allow for the seam allowance going down that way. Okay, so now we're going to repeat the same thing for the back crotch. So starting down here, just out a little bit, so it's really a seam allowance out. Normal seam allowance for dressmaking is 5/8 or 1.5 centimeters. So I'm just kind of judging it on that. Get to the point in the curve and draw a straight line up. Now you can see I'm using a striped fabric here, and when I'm drawing the line straight up, the pattern is actually running off a wee bit. So don't worry about that. I didn't think I would ever say to people things like don't worry about pattern matching and such like, but we are where we are. Now I'm going to draw down the leg. So from where you stopped here at the end of the crotch seam, you're just going to draw another line following down the leg. Keep that going to the line you drew across the bottom. Repeat that for the other leg. So we're working down now from the back crotch. Same thing again. Just draw your line with a bit of seam allowance coming down the leg. I'm using an iron-off pen, but in this instance you can literally use anything to draw with. I don't think they'll mind too much if there's a bit of pen mark, but really it'll all be in the seam allowance anyway. And straight down to the hem, and that's it, all the way up to there. At the top of the trousers, the waistband, the back of the trousers are a little higher than the front, so just measure that distance. So that's roughly 6 centimeters, 2.5 inches, 2.25 maybe. So what you can do, it just makes the trousers a wee bit more comfortable to wear, is mark a line down here that is a little lower. So we'll allow a seam allowance, so we're at 2.25, bring that back a bit, just about 1.5. That would be 4 centimeters down from the top to there. Run your ruler across that to the back and just redraw the top line. Now what we're going to do is cut the trousers out. So at the top edge here, cut down to the new line and cut across. Cut down the back crotch. Just go round the curve, work your way down the leg. Now we're cutting down the front. Just on one layer there, cut again. It's all gone very quiet. I'm not usually as quiet as this. Cut down to the bottom. And cut across. Take away the excess fabric. Okay, so now we just lift away the pajamas. And that is the trouser pattern cut out. Double fabric. If you lift it up and fold it in the middle this way, lift it up and fold it in the middle that way, you will see how this turns into two legs of trousers. Okay, so this then shows you how that pattern turns into two legs of trousers. This section here joins and makes the front seam, and then the section underneath will join and make the back seam. All of those instructions for sewing up are on the written instructions available from Scrubs NI. Good luck and happy sewing!